Hello everybody. So it's a sad moment if we recall what happened in Nyanza. Actually, in one of the villages, you saw how a family of 9 was burnt to ash. Yeah, and it's very funny that the event happened and the suspect is a woman. How brutal can the world be? Even if there is transformation, the transformation is not positive at all. Now, when we talk of land is one of the things that most people decide to be brutal over. You know, simple soil that was given by God actually ruined a lot of families, and this is not the first time we are hearing of this. And of course, we know there are so many cases that are pending in court, and sometimes the government moves very slowly. You know, you may report a case of conflict, but they'll not take any action about it. And this is the start of, that vulnerability. When they don't act that fast, then they're exposing the family which is reporting to danger. Yeah, so we actually saw what happened in Nyanza. And if you didn't see, I'm going to attach this video right here. But it's something that people cannot forget. Of course, I'm talking about this guy. There was a young man who was saying that he heard about the whale, and when he came and tried to whale, no one came about. I'm not sure about this, because there's, something doesn't add up. In most villages, when people shout at night, at least people come out and see what's happening. I can't understand how it happened in this village that this young man says he shouted and nobody came. Does it mean that in this village it's such a risky village that people don't wake up once they have slept, or they fear coming out? We need explanations, because this does not just add up. We do not understand why the villagers colluded in having this family perish. You can imagine 9. Even if the father or mother were at any wrong. I'm just saying if, because even if they were on any wrong, they don't deserve such bitter death. But then adding up 7 kids to this, it's very brutal. Like deciding to eliminate a whole family, it doesn't add up. So let's watch that video before we proceed, and then we shall see what more we will be discussing.
Ni baadhi ya vyombo vya nyumba vilivyobaki kwenye vifusi vya iliyokuwa nyumba yao.
Nilikuwa nimeamshwa na harufu ya petroli. Lakini kufika nilipata moto bado haikuwa imeenea sana, nikapiga nduru lakini watu hawakutokea. Walikuwa wamewasha moto kwa mlango na wakaongeza kifuli kwa mlango, hawangeweza kutoa kifuli. Sasa moto iliwazidi na wote wakakufa moja baada ya mwingine. Watoto wakilia na jina yangu kwa sababu mimi ndio wanakuanga karibu nao.
Kitu ambacho imetendeka siku ya leo hapa Sigomre tujawahi iona, na kwa hakika tuko na huzuni sana, mpaka hata tuwezi kuongea maneno mingi.
Familia na jamaa ambao bado wameduazwa na tukio.
This crowd came from in the morning. What the hell are you doing there? Because in the night you never stood for this family. And after now they perished, you are there in the morning narrating about this or that. Now you heard from the brother to the woman who belongs to this house, and what he said was very saddening. He indicated that there were conflicts over land. Yeah, of course conflicts are in most places over land. Maybe it's about who should have it, maybe it's about how far it should go. I'm not quite sure about what this specific, that day of course I heard over the media somebody indicating that they had been warned and told they should leave. If they don't, then they will see what they'll do. Now, I do not know actually, once you kill someone over land, do you inherit or occupy that land? Because I believe that woman was on the run, or if arrested, then she won't be safe. Because of course that day, when people came around and found evidence, there was a whole container of petrol, and that was evidence enough. Of course, which other evidence do you look for? That was evidence enough that this is the lady who had set ablaze that house. So it was an inferno kind of situation. An inferno is a situation whereby you light a house or a hotel or wherever, so that people burn inside it. Yeah, So what kind of heart is this woman having? She should be a lioness then, because how could she just have that courage to set ablaze a house with 9 people inside, knowing very well? And of course, we are told the house was locked from outside so that no one can escape. Of course, the intention here was to have them die. Yeah, because if it was to scare them, in the first place, I wouldn't expect that she used petrol. Maybe she would have used paraffin, and she would just have left the door open so that they ran. But the intention was to destroy the family and everybody, of course, so that even in future, no one from the family will claim that land. Now, I don't believe this woman did alone, no matter what.
Kipande cha ardhi na familia ya mwanamke anayeshukiwa kuhusika na moto huo.
Ilikuwa imefika wakati walikuwa wakwenda polisi, baada ya kutoka kotini walikuwa wameamriwa kuwa wahamishe kutoka hapa hivi, na hofia kuwa ni hili jambo ndio limefanya hili lote litendeke.
Nyumba ya mwanamke anayeshukiwa kuhusika na shambulio hilo ilichomwa na wanakijiji wenye hasira.
Kweli ni kwamba kibui imepatikana hapo na kibui ya petroli, na hiyo ni thibitisho kubwa kabisa, hiyo ni exhibit kabisa. Situation vile nimeona hapa, situation is tense. Anything can happen right now as we speak.
I believe she was helped maybe by some people who are close, those who want to be beneficial. And of course, that's what I think, because I believe when she's arrested and put in, those others that were helping her will be behind her, maybe helping her come out, or even just taking advantage and now owning that land, if anything. They may not want to be seen at the front line unless this woman mentions them in court. But guys, it's a sad moment, and what we learn from this is that in case you have conflict over land, it is safe that actually you seek the hand of the law, especially those who can help you before anything like this happens, because now losing an entire family, it's a sudden issue, and I believe to that community they won't forget anything to do with what they saw, because once the house is down, you can see the charred bodies, 9 bodies at that. And then now, how do you even remove them to bury or all that? I don't understand. Anyway, these are mysterious situations, sad, traumatizing, and encounters that you do not expect in a life that most of us claim to be religious, whichever religion you go to. We believe in aspects of reconciliation. We believe in aspects of, But one thing I told you about is that Kenya, we've become so inhuman. And most times we target to fight, to have battles, to kill, Like suicide is an option, murder, homicide, violence is an option even in parliament. So it is high time that we find professionals to enhance the aspects that people should learn to solve conflicts in other ways away from violence. Because if we opt for violence, there is no place that lacks conflicts, and some of them, you realize that some people just create conflicts which you don't even deserve some labels, you don't even deserve some treatment, and you have to sit with them. So if we decide to kill everybody that doesn't look like they should be with us, what will the world be? They always say that an eye for an eye will turn the whole world blind. So do we want to have the whole world blind? I don't think that's the case, because what you do to others is what you expect to be done to you. You cannot expect better. So, okay, as we wait for further procedures to go on, we just hope the souls of the dead will rest in peace. But what I wish is that justice be observed, because actually what happened was a very brutal situation that is not justified in any lanes. Bye bye for now.